So, should you summon? This is the Burn the Witch banner from earlier this year. The one that we thought we might get some as filler. These characters were unlikely going to be filler because of how recent they were. But the other characters, if you look here, this is the featured list of characters. I was expecting these characters as filler and these three characters as filler. I was hoping that maybe they would do these three, but expectations were these two or these five characters should have been in there as filler for the end of the month. It wasn't. This was obviously an extra filler character to fill up the slots. They needed one, so they put a premium character. If they would have had, because that's the thing. These characters are limited. So in some ways, they are better than a lot of the premium characters because, if you're for a collector or someone who likes one of these favorite characters, these would be really good. But these two and this one right here are pretty outdated. This character is still pretty good. Released around the same time as 6th Anniversary Aizen. And 6th Anniversary Aizen is still pretty good. These characters are farming characters. He is a farming character. He's also, pretty good as well. He's one of the new characters. Well, new for when this banner released. This is a rerun. And these two characters were really good. So these three characters are really good. This character is pretty good. He's good. Not on the same level as these three, in my opinion. Well, of course, he's not a farming character, so he obviously... It's not really a comparison between these two. These two characters are really good. So, overall, this banner, in my opinion, if you do not have any of these three characters right here, you should summon to at least the 5th step. If you have 2 out of the 3, that's going to be up to you. It's going to really depend on what you want to do. If you want to try and collect all the characters, obviously summon anytime there's a good chance of you getting new characters. If you're missing a lot of the filler, like the because this will be like the main 3 pulls, these 3, and these 3. If you're missing any of those 6 characters, or a good amount of them, like you just weren't there, or maybe when the banner came around you weren't able to pull any of these, maybe going in at least the discount multis would be beneficial to you. But yeah, you should at least summon on the banner. We're going to go in depth to what they actually have. The banner itself is nothing spectacular because it just has the typical 5, every 5 steps you get a guaranteed. So do not go to the 25th step thinking you will pull one of the 3 featured characters. That will not be the case. 25th step is just like every other guaranteed step. Step 5, step 10, 15, 20, and 25. All those are the same one. You just get a random featured character which can be pulled from any of these 9 characters. And if you're new, the other percent. So if you pull a character that's not shown here, that means if this was not here, you would have pulled a 4-star. So this is just like pulling from another pool of characters, that increases the chances of you getting a 5-star. It's annoying at times to get, these non-featured characters, but it could have been a 4-star. That's the way, it's a good way to look at it. Now, if we look at Bruno, he has strong attack recharge time minus 12% max. So that's a typical soul trait. He has a gauge effect, which gives him Berserker plus 100% and damage taken minus 20%. His innate skills, Marauder, that is really good. Sprinter plus 2 and Long Stride allows him to fly around the map a little bit better than characters that do not have that. He has complete status immunity, which is a bonus in my book. Basically, this character does not have to worry about getting inflicted with the status ailment. That's what makes this really amazing, in my opinion. He has Frenzy plus 2, which is really good. Not as good as the Frenzy plus 3 characters, but still, I'd say the normal, what you should expect from characters is Frenzy plus 2 at this moment. The Frenzy plus 3 characters are the outliers. Now where are we? Gauge effect. So you get spiritual pressure plus 50%. Start gauge is plus 70%. So the gauge is going to be at starting at 70%, except in brave battles. So what that means is you have 100% gauge. When you start doing your normal attacks, and your strong attacks and your special, that will add to the gauge, and once it gets to 100%, all these things with the gauge effect will take effect. For example, like strong attack recharge 30%, gauge effect heal plus 30%. So when the gauge kicks in, you're going to get healed. You're going to get strong attack recharge 30%, so that's going to be really good. The spiritual pressure plus 50%. Now, if you do not know what that means, is when that gauge takes effect, your SP is going to get boosted by 50%. So if you had 1,000 SP and it takes effect, you're getting 1,500 SP now. So overall, this character is really good. You know, a lot of things going for him. If we take a look at Macy, this one I was not able to pull. Strong attack recharge time minus 12% max. Sharpshooter. You had the Marauder up there and the Sharpshooter down here. Those are both really, really good to have. The minimum you should have is Guard Break. But these characters went above that and got the Marauder and Sharpshooter for their respective styles. That means if there's a, you know, like if you've played some of the maps and you don't have Marauder or Sharpshooter and you're going and fighting an enemy that, you know, is resistant or immune to, you know, melee or ranged attacks, if you have Marauder or Sharpshooter, you're going to penetrate that. And you're going to be able to hit them. I think this mainly applies to, the one I can think of off the top of my head, I think is the, what do they call it? The Extreme Co-op, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, Marauder and Sharpshooter is really good for there. Because then you don't have to worry about bringing a character that, you know, fits with what they're not immune to. Because you're going to be doing like 1 damage every single time if you do not have that. Don't have their counter. Havoc 20% is really good. That allows your strong attacks to be, you know, cover a larger area. Frenzy plus 2, another, basically the same explanation I gave for the one up above. You know, it's really good. Bruiser 20%, Berserker 40%, and Devastation 40%. That's basically stuff you want to see on pretty much most of the characters out there. Damage to weaken and damage to paralyzed enemies 40%. That is actually pretty good. Debilitator plus 5 seconds. That means the weaken and the paralyzed enemies will keep those status ailments longer, which is definitely a plus. Status ailment spiritual pressure boost 80%. That's actually really good. So 80%. Same thing as I said, if this character has an SP of 1,000 and you have the 80% SP boost taking effect, but this is with when they're inflicted with the status ailment, you're getting 1,800. So it's going to go from 1,000 to 1,800 once the status ailment takes effect. So keep that in mind. Then you have the team party, speed, attribute, strong attack, recharge, 20%. So overall, this character is really, really good. You know, really good speed character. And it makes me tempted to want to summon for her, but I have the other two, and honestly, I'm kind of want to pull back from summoning on rerun banners at the moment. Then you have Balgo and Ozushi. This is the farming character. Strong attack, recharge time minus 12% max, innate skills, sprinter plus 2, sharpshooter, and havoc 20%. So another sharpshooter. Excuse me. That is very good to see. Havoc, same thing as the other one. Covers a larger area of, you know, area with your strong attacks. Frenzy plus 1. So this one does not get the Frenzy plus 2. However, this guy does have Bombardment plus 1, which is also pretty good. Bruiser and Berserker 20% and 40%. So that's nice to see. Debilitator plus 5 seconds. That's also very good to see. Status element spiritual pressure boost of 80%. Similar to Macy's. You know, inflict an enemy with the status ailment, getting an 80% SP boost. And this one also has increased status ailment chance against heart attribute enemies. This guy is mine. So it's basically if you're taking him into a room where he's going to have the advantage, which if you're farming with this character, is pretty much going to be every room. You know, so you're going to be inflicting status element more frequently, getting this proc more, allowing you to do more damage. And why this character is a pretty good farmer is because it's a potion character, super potion character, and a droplet character. So it has all three in one. So that's really, really, really good in my opinion. In fact, for a while there, my goal was to collect one of every attribute of these type of characters. So I believe I accomplished that at some point. I don't know when though. Then you have Noel. This is the older character. These are the older farming characters. If you look, shock attack recharge time minus 12%. Guard break, not as good as the Marauder or Sharpshooter. Status element spiritual pressure boost of 80%. Plus 5 potion, plus 5 super potion. Does not have the droplets in here. Overall, this character is good, but not as good as the more recent ones. Same thing with Nini. Strong attack recharge. The link is good. 14% strong attack recharge is pretty good. Innovator every 5 seconds is also, nice. She does have Frenzy plus 2. And overall, similar to the other one. The previous character I just showed you. Potion, super potion, no droplet. Not as good, in my opinion, as the more recent characters. They're usable, and if you like their kit, they're going to be fun to play as like pretty much any character. I mean, look, the 1,000-Year Blood War Toshiro, the power one from I think it was the first 1,000-Year Blood War banner we've ever had. That character is still fun to play. The character is not as strong as 1,000-Year Blood War Yamamoto, the power one that we got last year, in the anniversary. But, it's still fun to play. So, if these characters have a good enough kit, or you like the way they play, play them. And you'll probably see more play out of these two characters than something like, for example, that Toshiro I mentioned, because these characters are farming. And Bruno. This character has fallen off a lot. Has Sharpshooter, has Poise, has hidden enemy chance 100%, but nothing really that makes him stand out. No 80% SP boost, no Rampage, no Frenzy plus 2 or 3. There's a lot of things going against his character. In my opinion, nothing, he's probably still fun to play if you like playing with him before, or if you've seen people's gameplay of this character and it looked like it would be fun for you. Chances are, it will still be fun. So do keep that in mind. This Ichigo is still pretty good. Strong attack recharge time minus 4% max. Has complete status immunity, which is also nice. That's another thing this character lacked. No complete status immunity or shared complete status immunity. I like that a lot. In skills. So if you don't have that, in my opinion, that's like a knock against your character. Assuming you're not a Brave Battle character or a, what do they call it? A Guild Quest character. Actually, no, even a Guild Quest character, I could see you maybe having that. Definitely Brave Battle, though. If you're a Brave Battle character, I'll cut you some slack. Now, if you look here, nothing really going for it. It does have Marauder. I'm interested to see what these characters' resurrections are going to look like at some point in the future. Because they do have a pretty good foundation, with Marauder right here, Poise. They probably are not going to get Frenzy plus 2. K-Lab is, pretty stingy at making any resurrection characters at least get some good skills spread out throughout the banner. I don't know why, personally. Your characters nowadays are broken. Even if you gave them something like the old characters, like something like Guard Break or even Marauder and Sharpshooter, they're not going to be on par, the vast majority of them, with the new characters releasing. If you scroll down a bit, you got Nini. This character is really old at this point. Look, doesn't even have any innate skills. That's how old this character is. Strong attack recharge time minus 14%. Nullify range resistance. You know, if you look, no frenzy plus 2 or 3, no SP boost or attack boost when inflicting them with a status ailment. I'm not sure if this person has status ailments, so like no pierce iron break if she doesn't have status ailments, or the 100% more damage when inflicting an enemy with, or when there's no status ailment afflicted to the enemy. So as long as there's no status ailment on the enemy, you would get 100% more damage. There's none of that on these characters. Same thing with Noelle. Not really that good in my opinion. You know, they might still be fun to play. But overall, the best characters on the banner are going to be this art book Ichigo. Even though he's not as strong as the characters coming out nowadays. This, where are they? This Nini. This Noelle for farming potions and super potions. This character is really good for farming droplets, potions, or super potions. And these two characters, Macy and this Paracel Bruno, they're just very powerful characters that released earlier in 2023. So, overall, I would say, just looking at it right now, I would summon. If like I didn't have any of the three characters, like these three main characters right here, I would summon. If I was missing at least half of the banner, so basically if you're missing 5 of these characters in this banner, I would summon. You know, because there's a chance you're going to get some of your orbs back. If you go, let's just say 5 steps, that's 1,100 orbs. If you pull like 3 new characters or 4 new characters, like that's going to be pretty good for your orbs. You're going to be getting some new characters, and you're going to be getting some of like a refund, like a partial refund. You're going to be getting what, 125 times 3 to 4, so it'll be 375, I believe, or 500. So around there. 375 to 500 if you get 3 or 4 new characters. Obviously, if your luck is bad, you know, you're not going to get really anything back. You probably, be lucky to pull the characters you want, even if you don't pull a lot of new characters. So, yeah. That's my overall. I wouldn't go too deep. The filler is not as good as, it should be. Poll selection is becoming at the end of the year. Excuse me. And that is going to be a really good banner to summon for. They're going to have a lot of good characters on that banner. More than likely, the 8th anniversary characters, Ichigo and White. You're going to probably have some good seasonal and premium characters on there. I'm also going to point out right now, these characters will not appear on there. So even though they are seasonal themed, like Christmas, Parasol right here, it's a Burn the Witch banner, which is limited. Any Burn the Witch is going to be on the limited side, even if there's seasonal variants of those characters. So they're not going to appear in the I was going to say the Parasol poll selection banner at the end of the year. They don't quite fit that. You're not going to see Thousand Year Blood War. You're not going to see Safwi or Campfire World. Just going to be normal seasonal characters and premium characters, and it's going to be selected. And the community is pretty good at picking the best characters for those banners to be, to summon for and whatnot. So overall, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.